Hello there, World of Tankers. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and yeah, we have a pretty important topic to bring up in today's video. And this is something that, once again, the CCs won't be covering, but is incredibly important to World of Tanks Blitz and the survival not only of this game, but basically a very large portion and dedicated player base. So, what exactly am I talking about, you may be asking? Well, obviously, Wargaming has been confirming and denying a lot of things in their own Discord server. And one of the things that they have said is this: API and mods are not a priority. There will be no support from this. Not there may be future support or we're working on it and we'll implement it at a later date. It says API and mods are not a priority. There will be no support for this. Okay, let's start off with the API. For those of you who don't know what the API is, essentially, websites like BlitzStars use the Wargaming API, in other words, kind of like an algorithm, to grab the statistics and session stats from your in-game battles and throw them onto a screen so you can see how you're doing. So websites like BlitzStars will cease to exist when Unreal Engine is released into the game. You will no longer be able to stat track, session track, you won't be able to see your 30-day, 60-day, or 90-day statistics. This entire website, which I should mention I have been openly supporting and paying monthly for, is going to be basically useless because Wargaming is going to be removing the entire stat tracking capabilities. This is incredibly sad. It definitely ruins a massive portion of Blitz for a lot of skilled players. And yeah, not very good. A great example is we have Peter Keck W. Peter is one of my favorite streamers for the game. He is basically one of the best players on the European server, and he does a boatload of streams, as we can see. He did one 12 hours ago, a day ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago. He streams all the time. And most of his streams are him trying to perform well in a vehicle. So, for example, this stream he did the Stridsvon K, where he did like 3,500, I think he said, at the end of the session with, X win rate. Well, Peter is no longer going to be able to do these streams because he's not A, going to be able to stat track, but B, he basically openly admitted that if Wargaming removes the ability to see your stats and removes the whole point of Blitz, which is skill, what's the point? Why would you bother putting in the effort and the skill when Wargaming themselves isn't going to care? We can see here that he has a stat tracker, shows how much damage and win rate you're going. All gone. All gone. Isn't that incredibly exciting, guys? Whoa, I'm very happy about that. So, again, it's basically a middle finger from Wargaming to the players who care about their stats. Any website that basically stat tracked, told you your W&8, your statistics, is going to be useless. Now, Wargaming said they might make a in-game tracker, but still, they're basically screwing a lot of people, not only out of possibly jobs, companies like BlitzStars, but they're just screwing over something that people have really enjoyed using for Blitz. The competitive aspect is one of the nicest things in the game. But as always, they don't want their players to be ostracized and called bad, the 40%ers. So what they're doing is they're removing the ability to stat track. Isn't that great? Not only that, but then we arrive to the modding situation. There's a lot of mods for Blitz. And mods are cool. I mean, for example, we got one here, the BZ75 Julong camo. Looks pretty dang sick. It's got some 3D elements to it. For many of you, you may have noticed a couple months ago, I was running a lot of mods for the game. There's some mods that add, mini-maps that you can actually see a better design on, which is really, really nice. There's a bunch of remodelings. I mean, look at this one. This looks freaking epic. It's for the Stura Mill. Somebody put a lot of time and effort into this. Well, guess what? Not next update, but when Unreal Engine does get released, this won't be available on Blitz anymore. It will be available on Lesta, the Lesta variant of the game, because they're not changing how the game is currently working. But for Unreal Engine, when it gets released, all of these things are going to be gone. You will not be able to mod. You will not be able to do anything in Blitz anymore when it comes to modding. It's just, they're screwing over a very large, dedicated community of the game, and it's just very disappointing to see that, really. That's the best way to describe it. It's incredibly disheartening to see Wargaming actively screwing over such a dedicated fan base to the game that have poured years and years of work into it. And it's not just like, by the way, it's not just Blitz mods. It is also for Blitz, which is another massive website, which, as we can see, for example, this was released December 2nd, so only about, what, a month ago? It's already had 15,000 views. Like, there's a lot of people that click on these mods. It's not like this is a small portion of the player base. This mod here, November 28th, has already 40,000 views. I mean, it's kind of wild. December 15th, 30,000 views. I mean, there is a lot of people that are downloading and clicking on these mods. And yeah, it's gone. All these are gone. All of these. Everything that you're looking at here, you will no longer have the ability to use. I've downloaded a lot of these mods myself and used them on streams. In fact, pretty sure Angel just had a video where he opened up a bunch of crates and he literally has this mod on his Jagdpanzer in that video. Pretty sure that's the case. Gone. All of that gone. So if you enjoyed using modded voice lines, commanders, if you enjoyed modding your garage or what your tanks looked like, gone. All of that gone. All the work and all the dedication that these people have put in throughout years and years of Blitz, gone. Just like that. Flush in the toilet. Great job, Wargaming. Great job. Not only that, but multiple different Discord servers full of people that were involved with modding, as we can see this one here. Blitz Insider. This is a... Actually, I think this person is fantastic. Basically, this person has made a mod that allows you to stat track inside your garage. It's incredibly nice. Gone. You won't be able to see any of this anymore. That'll be removed from the game. It won't be... you can see it right here. You've probably seen the news about the upcoming version of Blitz. What does this mean for the mod? Short story. Development of game mods will become very complicated or even impossible. Statistics. API servers may be unavailable for an unknown period of time. Wargaming has no priority on this. The mod will be kept up to date as long as possible until the new Blitz update lands. That's it. So basically, when the new update lands, all of the modding community is getting a big old fish shoved up their butt, and Wargaming really couldn't care less. It's crazy. It really is crazy to me how Wargaming just ostracizes a huge portion of their community like this. Now, as usual, I'll probably be the only content creator that's bringing this up because for some reason the CCs, the people who are supposed to share their opinion, don't really seem to care much about this. But this is a huge deal. The first of all, removal of the API, the fact that you're not going to be able to stat track anymore, is going to hurt the player base. Whether people want to, whether CCs or Wargaming themselves want to admit this or not, removing the ability to stat track, removing Blitz stars is an incredibly stupid and foolish decision. Sure, there's a decent chunk of the player base that's bad at the game. Probably 80 to 70% of the Blitz player base does not care about stats and will not be affected by stat tracking. But there is also a large, dedicated portion of the Blitz player base that wants to see their stats, that wants to improve in this game. And what Wargaming is doing is basically saying, you don't need to improve because we're removing the ability to check your stats. I am incredibly disappointed myself. And I don't know what else to say. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.